This one was hard. I had to come back to this a few times. This fish is pushed down along with the rest of the text. No extra space under the brackets. So if fish is pushed down, I probably went, oh my God, what did I do? Did I just go in the corner? Corner is what I did. Corner. Okay, let's look at the word fish. We want to look at fish. Okay, so if I went corner to corner and it's hitting the bracket a little higher up on the one on the right, on the left, it's hitting the H a little higher, it's hitting everything higher up. Okay. Now I drew the green lines myself, so it's hard to go by that solely on its own, but it does kind of give me an idea of what I'm looking for. Let's go and look what's my other line here. Went to the corner of the 6 to through the middle of the 8, and I'm piercing of what did I do? See, sometimes the zoom doesn't affect the averages. You know, it affects everything together. So it's like it shouldn't alter or make anything glaringly incorrect. So 6 to the 8 goes through the word of. The other one, that is low. 6 to the 8, it misses the word of. Okay, so that was enough for me to go off of. I can zoom around and kind of come back to it. And same thing. I don't know why. Sometimes these drift. If I set one side, this is probably an earlier card I did. If I set the 6 and then move the 8 around, it wiggles the other end a little bit, and then I'll have to refix it. And I don't think I did that in this one. But it's pretty plain as day when you see in the totality of everything that this first edition, then you have what I believe to be the Tactical Evolution Special Edition. The text is pushed down. Everything's pushed down in this one. And then the bracket, the space in the bracket should be the same. Okay. Okay, Shining Abyss is an obvious one. I'm just going to show this really quick. You know, you cannot stack an S on top of itself. Doesn't look possible. Over here, it looks possible. Okay, and the bracket is pushed down. I did my line. What did I do? I went through the 8. No, what did I do? Through the 7. Again, I know exactly why these are a little misaligned. It's because I would fidget with the 9, and then see, it's off by the same amount because I would fidget with the 9 and I would come back. All right. So the Tactical Evolution Special Edition card that's pushed down is above the dot on the I. So if I go to the other one, knowing that it's pushed down, it should be above. And it is not. What? Oh, I spoke wrong. Duh. It is above. Yes, it is. Okay, I apologize. Okay, looking at the 2, you can tell. You have this one, Oh, it's underneath the I. If this gets pushed down, it's going to be over the I. I apologize. This is really hard for me to do. Okay, this took a long ass time. Okay, and then here's another picture demonstrating the difference. Which one is the reprint? It's the one in the middle. Okay, it's the one in the middle because there's a bigger gap. It's whiter. This is like you in person, you cannot deny the difference. These two are meant to be the same. Those are the Unlimited's originals that you would want if you were trying to collect that series. Okay, the machine guy. All right, I'm just going to do this one just from a distance here. Okay, real snug, H in the bracket, a little more space. It has that different color. It looks different. You draw your line, corner, corner, corner to corner there. And you see it hits the top of the A. Excuse me, this misses the A because it's just pushed down a little bit. You know, it hits the bottom left leg of the N. It's more into the N because everything is pushed down. So the text is pushed down. Either the line is wrong or the text is moved, and the line should be correct. And I know it's correct because it goes through. Machine should not move. It should go through machine roughly in the same way, and it looks like it's pretty close. So do the other line where I drew it through Looks like I tried to go through the 8 or the 2. I don't know. Right on top of the E, over the E. So it works. Okay, and keep in mind again, these are eBay pictures or crappy ass images that I'm using. If I had the actual freaking cards that I could put side by side next to each other and take in the same picture, then you could do color differences. They'd be the same height, and then they'd be perfectly flat, and it would be undeniably easy to compare the two cards. So this is hard. This is really hard to do. Okay, so again, there's an obvious color difference. These cards are from the same picture. All right, you get the idea. Machine. It just gets pushed down a little bit. Like the difference that the text, you get it. The difference of space increase is the amount the text is pushed down. That was always consistent. Okay, so moving on. Okay, let's try and build up some steam. You start to get the idea. There's no space. There's a greater space. Let's see, the blue line from the corner to the corner. Same thing over here. Looks like it. Let's see, goes through the bottom of the D, cuts through more of the D, misses the A, hits the A. So I mean, this text is pushed down. The bracket is different. It's different. Don't know what to tell you. Okay, this one in the middle is a picture of an unboxing because probably I had a hard time with this one. Basically, from a distance, you can see I did the cross trick, and it's through the O. This one's on top of the O. That one's on top of the O. Both of these are Tactical Evolution Special Edition. They both have the same kind of color. You can see it has like a reddish kind of reddish bracket. This is meant to be whiter. It is whiter. It's the same shade, blah, blah, blah. So it is, in fact, just a little bit different. Oh, wow. It really misses masks by quite a bit. So that's interesting. So this is pushed way down, and then you have it looks like a much bigger gap. By the word fiend, can you fit an N in there? No, it doesn't look like it. Looks like can you fit an N in there? Looks like, yeah, you can. So it's pushed down. Okay, Nuvia, the Wicked. I need to speed this up. Like, this takes so long to do this. Okay, it was a rough start. I think by now you probably believe me a little bit more. Okay, so here, the U, easily put another U on top. Can't put another U on top. Easily can put another U on top. Those cards are visibly different. The line trick works from a distance. You can see. Oh man, so what's a good one? Okay, it goes to the top of the S and just C decreased, and then misses the S by a mile. The difference that it's pushed down. So there we go. Oh man, dude, this video is gonna take forever. Okay. Magic card, spell card, spell card. Okay, you want to get a magic card. If you're collecting the original print unlimiteds, take a look at these two spell cards. Is there a difference? It says I could not find it. Okay, make it a challenge. There wasn't very many of these chosen ones. I even bought these ones in person and I couldn't find it. I have some copies at home, so I'm just going to skip to the next one. If you want an unlimited, you just have to get the magic card. Okay, there is a difference. It's probably pushed down, but I didn't find every single one of them, okay? This one here, okay, this one should be quick because I got to speed this video up. I'm trying to convey belief. I know this works, but okay, did the cross trick. You can see, okay, it hits the bottom of the T. Okay, it's into the T. So this text here is pushed down. The difference of this newly formed gap at the top, like that's bigger. So you have this card here, which is not a first edition. It's just an original print. And this is brighter. Everything was pushed down. This is an original print, OG card. And you can just tell they're different, right? It's hard to conceive. If you saw this card by itself, you would know, but there's more space. It was pushed down, okay? Tactical Evolutions. Could not, okay, this is another one, hard one. Curse of the Mass Beast, another hard one. I'm basically going to skip it. You get a magic card if you want to get the original print unlimited, that's what you want to do. This one was really difficult. Oh my god, this card. Okay, so this card was insanely close, insanely snug. So anything that says magic, spell card. Okay, what did I say? Could not find the tactical evolutions, which I did find, I think. Okay, what I went through this, I spent a lot of time on this one. These mass cards are really hard. God dang, really hard. Okay, so just bear with me here. First edition, okay, because it says magic, so you can't really go by that. Okay, so spell card. Okay, so look, this is a little thin, but it works. Okay, so the bottom third of the O, middle of the O, bottom third of the O, bottom third of the O. That's the middle of the O. Middle of the O, yo. Now it's the bottom. Now it looks like it's like the bottom of the third. This happened to me a lot. Okay, so that's the middle of the. Oh my god, I shouldn't have gotten into this. This one sucks so much. So basically, what I think I'm saying. So these are the reprints. These are PSA grade reprints from 2003, and I can't skip this card because it's significant. So one of these cards, these two spell cards here, are low on the O, and these other ones look like they're right in the middle. This one's kind of low. I think I might have just measured it a little bit wrong. But see, that one popped in. So this one is very tricky to prove using computer images. That's for sure. Oh, let's see. I think I had the belief that one of these. Yeah, I suspect the reprint on the left is from Tactical Evolutions. I don't know that's true though. I think I'm gonna have to skip this and just tell you guys if you're gonna get a magic card for the unlimiteds, because I could go into this card for about 30 minutes, which is kind of strange. But there's definitely a difference between these two cards. This is middle O, this is bottom. That looks like okay, this is the PSA card on the right I'm looking at, and it's bottom. So I think that's what I was trying to say, and I think this is middle. So I think okay. So what I think is going on here, and this god dang it. I think this card on the right is a Tactical Evolutions. I'm not sure. I don't think I looked at that much, but there's what I'm basically saying is there's a difference between this graded reprint and this graded reprint. I know PSI makes mistakes. That's not what's surprising to me, but it is trying to confirm if my measuring is accurate. But I don't want to waste your time too much with this. Just try to get a magic card. I do believe that these are different in some way. This is just, it's too much, dude. It's too much right now. I can't do I can't do this. So okay, again, same thing. These mask cards suck, so just bear with me. Where's my first edition? It's over here. All right, so let me just try and zoom in. Am I saying? And sometimes I'll label these and like go back, make slight changes if I'm not quite confident, because the difference for these cards is ridiculous. So okay, so I went through the 2 to the 8, and it cuts through the C. Okay, let me go to the first edition. Cuts more through the C. 2 through the 8, cuts more through the C. So that would be indicating that the one on the far right is pushed down. Did I do that for all of them? 2 through the 8. 2 through the 8. Cuts through the C a lot. And you'd expect to see more that look like the first edition, like a lot more. Cuts through the C a lot. 2 through the 8. Cuts through the C a lot. So I would 2 through the 8. Cuts through the C. Looks like a lot. And then finally the card that we looked at the first time. 2 through the 8. And it cuts through the C. The top of the C kind of looks like that. That's a little bit more. And then you look at the color of it. And it's really hard to tell, to be perfectly honest. You can look at the edges and the whiteness and stuff like that. That can kind of help, but it's not conclusive. So I think the text is pushed down on this. Mask of the Accursed, same thing. I gotta pick up the speed. I mean, dude, you could do a whole video for each one of these cards. And I'm trying to do too many at once. Okay, so let's try this. Middle of the O, glazes through the top of the O, and I'm thinking that's middle of the O. So what I'm thinking is this text is pushed down, and it's, as a result, it has to be Tactical Evolutions. I'm saying the same thing over here. I don't know why. Okay, so apparently, so I know you saw that too, and like these lines can float around a little bit, but you can test them and I know that's not good, but you can test it as long as you adjust it a few times. It'll whip itself back into shape, and you'll be able to make some determinations based on it. Like, I mean, so now I'm looking at the P. It cuts through the P, misses the second P. This one misses the second P. This one probably clips the second P a little bit. All right, so that's why I'm saying these two are Tactical Evolutions, because oh, this is a magic card, so just ignore that one. Oh, but it doesn't say magic. So these are, the text is the same, so again, oh, okay, maybe that was the way it was the whole time, dude. So it cuts through the bottom of the O, middle, bottom. What can I say? The text appears to be pushed down. It's hard to measure the gaps. If you had two cards that were the same and you zoomed in, you could measure these gaps in the corner just to see if the text was pushed down, or you could measure the distance from the top, but I don't have a good way to do that, so I have to do this crossing trick. There's other ways that you could measure these cards for sure, but I'm just going to move on. Okay, so I think I went from the 2 through the other 2, and then just through the O. Okay, this text is pushed down. Okay, is it a spell card? Yeah, it's a spell card. So this is the back. The picture doesn't tell me a whole lot, to be perfectly honest. All right, so I'm going to keep going. I got to go. What number am I on? I'm on 21 out of 100. Yeah, we're doing great. I need to be finished as soon as possible here. All right, so the magic card, push down first edition. This one should be the same. Blah. What do we got here? Okay, it shaves off the O and your, shaves off the O and your. And this one should miss the O because the text is pushed down, and it does. So I'm assuming that's what that is. Tactical Evolutions. This one's a 10 because it's a spell card, and it looks just like the original. So I think that's a 10. Okay, these cards are hard. Again, very tricky. Okay, magic spell. Man, you guys are going to eat me alive on this video. I know it started out pretty rough, and like, holy cow, I'm going to take a little bit of a break here. I know there's differences, and going by the theory of the booster tins looking like the originals, and I know there's a reprint. There's these cards floating around that look different from the originals, and they're to the 2007s, and it's not that hard to find them. Like, you could pretty easily construct a set of the 2007 Tactical Evolution Special Edition LON cards. You could make a whole set over the internet. Like, I'm sure that you could do it. I was thinking about doing it. I don't think it would be that hard to do. And then when they showed up, you would know side by side clearly next to the others what's what. Anyway, magic card. If you want to buy the original prints, get a magic card and the spell cards here. Looks like it goes through the 8. Looks like it misses the 8. Okay, so you look at the first edition, goes through the 8. See, by this time, I think probably I was getting a little bit better with my lines too. Those earlier cards were kind of rough because I was just starting out. I didn't know exactly what I was doing, and they were harder to prove. That goes through the 8, goes through the 8, that goes through the middle of the 8. Hopefully that card is straight. Yeah, it looks like mostly straight. So text is pushed down. There's probably a bigger gap on the top. This is the card in the middle, and yeah, it kind of looks like there's probably a bigger gap there. And they're different sizes. So again, this is your Tactical Evolution Special Edition because it's a spell card, so you know it's a reprint. The reprint that looks like the first edition, that is out of the tins. So this is kind of cool. So not only does it help you collect the Tactical Evolutions cards, but then it helps you identify the reprint cards as well out of the tins, because they don't have too many of those graded. The only way they would know those previously is if it changed magic to spell or whatever, and then later on the text changed. Okay, this card was hard, Tornado Wall. I don't want to get into this one too much because it was a pain in the butt. I think I only recently figured this out. So it looks like I'm going through the 5 to the 2, and it lands on top of the O. Let's go with that. On. 5 and 2 lands on top of the O. 5 and 2, there's a space. 5 and 2 lands on top of the O. So now I know that's not a whole lot of space difference, especially from the earlier cards that I was doing, but I was able to get it a little more refined as I went on. So I'm thinking this is the Tactical Evolution Special Edition one. Then you kind of look at the color and it is different. And then the spacing, it's probably different. What am I doing with my green line? I have no idea. So again, the difference does exist. I believe that it does exist in this one. They're not identical. Fairy box. What did I do? So I did the crossing. They met between the S and the D, a little north of the halfway. S and D, same thing, pretty close. Maybe a little higher up. And then the last one is the same. Okay, so 2 and 3 are the one in the middle is different. This is what I'm thinking. Let's see, and then specifically 2 to the 2 goes sits on top of the D enduring. 2 to the 2, it's above the D, so this text is pushed down, possibly, probably. And then 2 to the 2, and this is very close. The difference there is pretty minor. You know what? It's possible that these are both, because they look the same to me. I think these are both. This one has a darker border. I think this is from the same picture. Yeah, this is from the same picture. So I think this one in the middle is Tactical Evolutions. Now, this is the kind of thing that made me think, okay, maybe these are all just from the same period, but they're just like printed with different machines. Something like that. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I don't think that's the case. Okay, I don't. I think these are an entirely different print run from later years, but extremely hard to tell. Oh my god, I did the crap out of this one. Let's just zoom in and see, because I gotta speed this up, man. Okay, so let's just say cuts through the S, kind of sits on top of the S, sits on top of the S, sits on top of the S, 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 cuts through the S. So this is hard to say, man. I have a lot of stuff here going on. It says all cards appear to be Tactical Evolutions Special Edition. No, I don't know about that. Sometimes I would type stuff here in the top text. I would type it up early. It is possible that these are all Tactical Evolutions, but I should have gone through. And I tried to. God, maybe they are. It's hard to know. I'm probably gonna have to skip this card and come back to it. To be perfectly honest, it is just too difficult. You know, like this other line, it's pretty inconsistent. So this drawing corner to corner sits on top of the D. It's probably not going to work. Okay, corner to corner. Text was pushed down. Apparently, text was pushed down. Didn't do it. That sits right on top of it. And that sits right on top of it. So that's originally why I put these Tactical Evolutions, because the D, there's more space. I didn't do this one. And it could be, there's some pretty crappy cards. Usually the banged up ones are indications that it's a bad print. Not always. So I'm going to move on. Jam Breeding Machine, very difficult. Time is it? Oh my god. Okay, I'm on card. What card is this? 20. Oh my god. Okay, I need to speed this up. Crossing lines on top of the P on type looks about the same. I think I had forming line for two. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is like when I started doing it for the first time. Whoops. Oh, here we go. Let's see. That's only one spell card. Magic and spell. So when you have multiple lines of text, obviously anytime push down is going to be hard to see. And I'm claiming that there is push down, but just a little bit. And it kind of looks that way. You know, you look at the A, it's a little bit pushed down. The E's just barely through. This one's through the meat of it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get into it too much. My theory is that it's text is pushed down. This is the same card. This is a confirmed one from an unboxing. Oh, let's go through the first edition. Okay, 4 to the 7 cuts through the D in field. 4 to the 7 is pushed down a little bit, and then 4 to the 7 is pushed down a little bit as well. And that would work. As long as this card's straight, it would still work. So I'm thinking these are both tactical evolution special editions. And if you go to the, yeah, you can just see from even a distance that there's a bigger space for sure. Next card, Jam Defender, first edition. Okay, it sits on top of the O and U, right? Top of the O, guess what? Hey, it's pushed down just a little bit. It's not from a, the card is bent a little bit, actually, now that I think about it. That might be the difference. What about the corners? The colors, hard to tell. It's not from the same picture. You know what? That might be the issue there. I might not have found one. So I'm saying text is pushed down, probably. Like, again, this takes a long ass time to do because I don't have both of the cards. So it's hard to tell. But since now that I see that card is bent, I can't go by that. So I'm going to have to skip. Text is pushed down. Let's see. Scrapes the bottom of the U. This one is more through the U. Let's look at the same time here. Okay, so lower part of the D, higher part of the D. This text is pushed down. Looks like it could be and probably is. It is a spell to magic. So again, it would be pushed down. You know, they knew, they always made some slight changes to these reprints. It would be really hard to tell, but again, these pictures are not good. But if you try the crossing trick, you'd be surprised at how reliable it actually really is. So I think that's what's going on there. Okay, finally the monster cards are much easier to do. This is from the same picture. You can just tell by the color that this one on the right is off. You can even tell from a distance the space under the bracket is bigger. Do the crossing trick, it goes through the NN and then top of the N. Text is pushed down. The difference that this is, okay, pretty simple. Okay, again, color difference. These I had trouble with in the beginning because there's not much of a big difference with some of these cards. 4 to the 3, 4 to the 3. You know, hits the A here, misses the A, text is pushed down. You can look at some of this stuff. Looks like Warrior stays in the same spot. Now, if I draw a line from the bracket down to the second 0, bracket down to the second 0, and I know that this bracket doesn't move and the text does, it should be different. And it is cuts through the 1, it sits on top of the 1. So the Warrior effect doesn't move. So if this text is pushed down, then it's going to indicate what it does. You know, it goes through the D on top of the D. So that one's pushed down. This is a confirmed one. This card was really hard to find another copy. But let's see. I think I was going by the T. There's a cross on top of the T. Whoa, what the heck's going on there? Oh, I did a different measuring point, I think. Sometimes I would make changes, different measuring methods. So 9 to the 2, let's see, it goes through the cross of the T. 9 to the 2. That seems a little lower to me. That picture's terrible. That's a confirmed one, but let's ignore it from now. 9 to the 2. Miss goes. Wait a minute. That's about the same. So that's about the same. That's about the same. That's about the same. But it's just a crappy picture. That's about the same. Okay, this is the one I think that I finally did find that it goes through the right to the top of the T. It's really close. This one I had trouble with for sure, but I know this is a confirmed one here. It's just a crappy. This is the best picture I can pull off the internet, and you just tell that it's white, much whiter. Let's see. Can I prove it in any particular way? I guess if you go for the middle of the 0 through the O. Did I try that? Let's see. So if I go through the middle of this 0, I'm just doing this quickly, not super precise, and then went through the O in Warrior. The text will be different slightly. I actually should zoom in a little bit. Oh man. It's a lot of fun talking about all of this. Imagine trying to do it. Okay. This is a blurry ass image, and so this text should be pushed down lower than this text. Does it show that? Assuming that it goes through. Okay, yeah, it's still lined up correctly. Okay, kind of. I mean, like if you look at R, A-R-E, middle of the 0, it misses the word R, Warrior, because the Warrior effect doesn't move, the 0 doesn't move, the text moves. Bottom of the A, left side of the A. And I know it's blurry, but it looks like it cuts through the A. So, and that would be reminiscent, is that a word? Yeah, it is, of the difference in the bracket. So I think it does get pushed down. I have no reason to think otherwise. Oh, here we go. This is the same picture. Jeez. This is the same picture. I think I found this one later on, but there's just a bigger gap. It exists. I don't know what to tell you. From a distance, let's try to speed this up a little bit because I'm only on 33 out of 100 cards. This is ridiculous. Through the O, through the O, through the O. As a matter of fact, what am I doing? What time is it? Okay, we gotta pick up the pace. Oops. Okay. Okay, the same. Okay, just ignore that one. We'll move to this one. So, first editions. Through the O. Through the O. Over top of the O. Rufio. That has that same. It's like less blended, right? It doesn't look all speckled. It's just more smoother, consistent. That's definitely. This is original. That's a reprint. Fire Princess first edition, same as the originals, for sure. Bigger gap, looks like it. What's that supposed to be through? Oh, the 7. Yeah, the 7 to 7 7. 7 to the 4. That's kind of odd. 7 to the 4. Okay. Through the O, on top of the O, through the O. So got pushed down. Got pushed down. Next. Whoops. Next. Same thing. You can see the color difference. I think this is the same picture. Yes, it's the same picture. So it's not like a flash coming in. I mean, I don't think so. This is pretty convincing. A lot of these, like, you would see a flash. You would see a big white ring. So this is probably the reprint, and if you go and look at it, once again, the two cards on the left are identical, even though they're both first editions. Pretty easy to see. Different measuring points. What I do? 4 to the 3, 4 to the 3. So these are the same measuring points. It's under the G, it's over the G. This text was pushed down on the right. Fire Princess. See what this young lady has to offer here. Whoops. Scooted that over. 2 to the 6. 2 to the 6. And let's say just under the left leg of the N, through the left leg of the N because it's pushed down. You can just tell they look different. And you get to see you can see the consistency of like the wider text box, right? I mean, in person it's very easy to identify. Same thing here. Okay, we're making progress. 5 through the 7. 5 through the 7. Okay, it kind of cuts through the belly of the B, kind of cuts the B in half. It's pushed down more. We look at the space in the bracket. Sizes are different. It looks like, even scaling them in my mind, that there's probably more space over here. Not a lot more because the text difference is pretty small, but cuts through sits almost, okay, on top of the E, cuts through the E, and this is missing the E. So it's, as long as your points are lined up, there's a difference in the cards. I don't know what else to say. It's not like it's not an optical illusion or anything. Like, the differences really exist. I mean, it's pretty clear. Okay, so just looking at these, if you weren't to see any of these labels, which I tried my best to be accurate, you would know. Okay, you have a first edition. Oh, you got that nice blended look. Oh, here's another blended look. Is that the photo? Well, it could be, but then you go over here and oh my God. Okay, is that probably different? Yeah, it's probably different. Would you buy that if you saw a picture of this third card on eBay on a picture, would you buy that 100% without checking? You probably want to check it by another means other than color. But this is one. The one on the right is one that was done out of an unboxing, and you can just tell, right? It has that, bright yellow white text box. They just look the same. Okay, so I know that was proof. That's proof enough, right? So let's try to line up these cards here. I just did the box trick. So I remember. So anytime I just do the box trick and I don't do more specific number measurements, then it's probably pretty easy to identify. And in this case, one of the few times it says face and then field in, they put face up down below. And this is probably one of the few times, maybe the only time, that they changed any text. So it's easy to see field in, that's Tactical Evolution Special Edition. And this is another huge piece of evidence that shows that there are two definitive, print changes, which obviously there are, but the proof that this is the definitive print change, the brighter cards, and it sends consistency throughout the entire my hypothesis that that these are 2007 special edition, and they are. Tactical Evolution Special Edition. Okay, here we go. So here's another one. Did it same picture? It's in the middle. The card's different. Yeah, we get it. Okay, 39. Need to pick up the speed. Magic spell. You want to look at the spell cards. So by the way, this video is turned into finding. I'll say the summary. God, I talk a lot. Okay. Excuse me. 2 to the 9 sits on top of the R. 2 to the 9. Sits on top of the R. What the heck am I trying to prove here? Oh, this is one of those where I went to just ignore that. And you just go to the next one. See, look here, small space, big space, color. The difference exists, so you don't even need to look at all this crap. Oh, look at my calculations. All you have to do is just look at the damn picture to know. There's a Fairy Guardian card that's different, and when you buy it, you can do your own measuring. Basically, you pull a first edition off of online somewhere off eBay, and then you take the card you're looking at to buy, and you now analyze it, and you can just tell. So you need to have a comparison to tell, basically. So those cards are easily different. Yeah. Same thing with this guy, the Empress, this girl, Empress. Yeah, pretty big gap there. I can fit my cursor into it. Pretty big gap there. I can fit my cursor into it. Looks about, oops. Oh man, oops. Looks about the same. You draw the line, sits on top of the O. There's a space in the O, so the text is pushed down, makes the bracket bigger. 2 out of 3. The third one's different color that we keep seeing again, and it has a bigger space under the bracket. Cure Mermaid, bigger space. You see the space? It's bigger. The color is the same as the other Tactical Evolution Special Editions. Okay, simple. Gosh dang it. Hysteric Fairy, this card was hard. Eventually, I think this was the one. This card was really hard, so just ignore this. These labels, like, I apologize, this video is not 100% polished. But, dude, I have a life, dude. I spend so much time doing the stupid Yu-Gi-Oh measurements. Okay, this sure looks like it's probably legit. What? But this one was so tricky, man. Hang on, let me see if I can. There was something that did it for me. Oh, this is when I figured out that the text box color was going to help me. So I'm claiming that there's a space above the D. That's a different measurement point. Space above the D, space above the D, and space above the D. Okay, well, so that's why I'm saying I think just probably ignore this. This card was really hard to do. I can't confirm anything on this. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to skip. Later at the end, I'm going to go through an Excel sheet and tell you what you need to do. So same thing with Biomage. So that's why I said anytime they did one card, they started making changes, and then the next cards would be like similar changes. This patch of cards is hard. They didn't make a lot of changes to any of these cards. So I'm going to skip Biomage just a little bit. I apologize. I can't do all these cards. This is taking me forever. 6 to 3. Cuts through the O. Probably does the same thing over here. 6 to 3, cuts through the O. Okay, stop doing that. So not super convincing. I don't know. See, again, I should just delete that because I just don't know if that's the case. Some of the stuff I did early on. Biomage is a horrible card. I think what I figured out, though, I did figure out something for this card. Was that Fairy? Okay, so the first edition goes through the eye. That cuts through the eye. That cuts through the eye. That misses the eye entirely. Is that like the first edition? Okay, so I think I think those are the same, and then this one is different, but it's really hard to tell. It also has that like redder box and brighter, but in person you'll know for sure. So I have to move on. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. 4 to the 4 looks like it goes through the O. 4 to the 4. Text gets pushed down. There's probably a bigger bracket space. Oh, maybe not. Let's go on with this one. Actually, it looks smaller. Why is that? 4 to the 4. 4 to the 4. I don't know what's going on with this one. It might just be... The text looks like it's pushed down just a little bit. And that actually looks the same. It almost looks like I almost got these switched. That's what's weird. Says all lines of text are pushed down. Oh, same. The space is same. Okay, so it's same. I'm saying that everything was pushed down in the one on the right. Just based on, I did the corner to the 0, and let's say it comes out the edge of the R. I did the 0 to the corner, and I'm saying that it's a little bit lower, but it doesn't really look like it. Kind of hits the eye, kind of misses the eye. So I think I'm saying that everything is pushed down. All this text is pushed down. That's why the space is the same. And you have a little bit of difference in G. That's pretty thin. I don't know. This card doesn't look like... I don't think this card is Tactical Evolutions again. Like I said, some of these I did early and I didn't come back to them properly. And I have a sneaking suspicion that this isn't, because I just don't think that it is. So ignore that for now. Man, this video is going to be fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. This is a bold attempt to cram all this. Okay, so I'm saying hits the O, gets pushed down maybe a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to have to speed these up. I'm going to have to get through this as fast as possible. This is taking too long. So you know now the methods. St. Joan. I'm claiming that the whiteness, it's a little bit pushed down, I hope. Okay, so Marie the Fallen one. Okay, let's just go straight to the first edition. This card was really hard. I had to work really hard to do this. I did this one several times, but you can see how white this is. It doesn't always tell us on its own, reminder, but it's a good clue. But sometimes the flash will hit a card, and it just makes it seem that way. So I was looking at the top of the E in Graveyard, and these are all the same. That one's pushed down a little bit. And I think what I'm saying is in this fourth one, see how these look the same, right? Second and 4. But I'm saying this gets pushed down. Okay, oh god, I gotta go. I gotta keep moving. This is taking way too long. I might I hope I can upload this video, man. Okay, it goes through the middle of the C, the A. Okay, this looks like it gets pushed down. So this is pretty convincing. I'm just going to leave it at this. Draw from the corner to the corner. It hits through this 1. Draw from corner to corner. It misses the 1. Okay. Now, I'm starting from a corner. Yeah, it's just the corner trick, but if I may take this line here and I try to duplicate it, make it go through the 1, like look where it ends up. You know, and go through the C in the same spot. Like look where so there's some truth to this. Like if I put, see, the line goes through the C there, if I duplicate it here, like look where it ends up. So it's like, it's not like it's, you know, it's pretty damn convincing. It's not like it's, oh look, it's right here instead of here. It's like, no dude, if I put it through the C where the other one is, it ends up right, the line ends up right there. So that's the difference. I'm gonna say, yeah, tactical evolution, that's great. I gotta move on. Spell card, magic card. Oh my god. Let's see. Go to the first edition. Let's take a look. Okay, it lands on top of the C, lands on top of the C, space. So I'm saying that this is a 10, spell. This card was pushed down. This card sucked. This card was hard because, as you might imagine, there's not a lot of copies of United We Stand that are available to look at. This is top of the S, through the S. So I think I'm saying the text gets pushed up, which did happen occasionally, but this card is going to be hard to identify. Again, if you're trying to buy this card, take the first edition, the nicest copy you can possibly get, and compare it to the ones you buy. If they are exactly, the text is exactly the same, there's a good chance that it's from a tin and not Tactical Evolution. You're looking for changes in text difference. These colors look the same. I don't think I found this one. Okay, spell. Okay, so what's going on with these spell cards? Let's take a look. 7 to the 5. It goes through. Okay, it hits the bottom of the eye. 7 to the 5 goes through the middle of the eye. I think this text is pushed down. What's the original do? Hard to tell because it has magic in it instead of spell, but I don't know if that changes that very much. But one goes under the eye, one goes through the eye. This is a weird misprint or a mislabel because it says it's from the 2004. I don't even know what that means. Oh, it's the EN. Oh, it's listed as an EN. That's right, but it's not. So that's what was really. This is just a. I don't know what the hell this is. That doesn't say EN, so I'm not sure if someone's playing shenanigans who's selling this card or not. But yeah, don't don't buy this card if you see it on eBay. But there should be a difference there. Whoops. Okay, so I gotta keep going. I'm like halfway done, and I'm like, I've done this for going too long. First edition. What did I do? Did some weird stuff on this one. 2 to the 5 cuts through the P a little bit. 2 to the 5 kind of looks like it misses P, and that cuts P. So I'm saying this middle one is different, and probably actually is, because it's hard to find. It has to be a spell card, which limits what I can look at, and then it has to be, 2 spell cards have to be different. I think this probably has a brighter box. Oh, I might have pulled this image. I don't know if that's his computer image of an unboxing or what. No, it's just some dude holding it. So I think that's the case. Text gets pushed down. Portrait Secret. Okay, this one I think is easy. All the monster cards are pretty easy because they always have this gap. Small gap, big gap. Goes through, hits the top of the end, misses the end. Text is pushed down. Next. Cross goes to Ghost Most Dreams. Top of the A, misses the A. Text gets pushed down. You see the change in the bracket. And bigger space, much bigger space, undeniably different. Headless Knight, same thing, boom, same color box, same color box. This is all the same picture, different color box. You can see from a distance, even from a distance. Some of these you could probably look at and be able to see in person just by looking at them. Oh, that's different. But dude, my eyes, I have pretty good vision, but these Yu-Gi-Oh prints so small I can barely even read the cards in person. Okay, so the third card is extremely different. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time doing that. Okay, same thing. This is the same picture. No, these 2 cards are the same. Second and third from the same picture, and they're clearly different. First edition. Let's go take a quick look. First edition, tight gap. Oh, I just did corner to corner, cuts through the middle of the A of Fallen. Corner to corner is above the A, so this text is pushed down. Not such a tight gap. These gaps are different. You can see this gap is pushed down the exact amount of the lettering difference, and then this is going to be the same as the first edition. It sits on top of the A, which is it's not supposed to. This is meant to be through the A. No, this time you can tweak it a little bit. It's pretty noticeably off, but it's a product of the picture being like fuzzy, and like I'm trying to find the exact corner spot. I'm not doing a good enough job. Whoops. Whoops, did I just goof? Okay, here we go. So blah blah blah, and it's like now it kind of cuts through the A more. It's hard to tell. Like I never really went through and adjusted anything. I would never ever go through and make a line try to look like another line, because that's just stupid. Like I know there's a different reprint set. Like by now I know you agree with me that there is a confirmed Tactical Evolutions special edition set that exists where there are clearly noticeable differences. It's not like they would just alter a few cards and like the color consistency is like the same all throughout. So this one in the middle, from a distance, that's pretty far away. Let's see. So on top of the A, through the A, and this one's going to be through the A. What the hell is wrong with me? Are those the same cards then? I might have goofed. Maybe that. No, because the damn bracket. Yeah, they're different bracket spaces. That's so weird. Okay, so yeah, that's right. Earl of Demise, same thing. Am I still recording? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, so tight space, bigger space, goes through hits the C, just over the C. And anytime there was like a tight space in the brackets, I'm like, okay, well, there's going to be a tight space in the text moving down, and it was always the case. You know what I'm saying? So that one's pretty simple. The Bonheimer, yeah. Okay, so you can even see from a distance the bracket space again. You can easily fit an entire end. That entire end does not fit, so that's the difference. Same thing with this guy, and like I had to start with these cards. Thank God these cards exist, because otherwise it makes me feel like I'm crazy. Because there's that end may fit in there. This end definitely fits in there. Different. Okay, this is Spheres Lady. Oops. Cruising over. Okay, can you get a V in there? No. Can you get a V in there? Yes. Again, they're all the same. There's another example. The one on the left, I think these are both. Let's zoom in real quick. So big bracket space, less bracket space. These two cards are brighter. These are different. They're brighter in every way, basically. Same thing with the Lightning Conjure. Okay. This card we looked at the beginning, but you know, could you fit an E in there? Almost. Could you fit an E in there? Easily. Could you fit an E in here? Well, maybe. So the one in the middle also has the color change. It's the tactical evolutions. Jowgen again. There's less blend. There's less spray paint look, right? Sometimes it's a product of the picture, but it's just overall it's more whiter. So I did 4 to the 6, same over here. This one's kind of snug. So this cuts through the M pretty convincingly. And then not. So the text gets pushed down. Looks like the space under the bracket is bigger, and those cards are different. Yeah, this is the same picture. Oh, I think these are both, yeah, tactical evolutions. So Kaiku, same thing. We got the whiteness, measured from the same spot. Let's go to the first edition. O on top of the O, as it should be, because those are the same cards. And then a little through the O. Now there's a lot of text, so this actually, did it get pushed up? It would have had to have been pushed up. It was pushed up. It sometimes did happen where they would do things like that. I'm saying, yeah, text is barely pushed up. And then I would think I was crazy until the next card would have the same thing. So what does the next card have? Yeah, see, no, this text is barely pushed up. Now, it was very strange because these ones actually look similar, but so if I went through the 4 to the 3, and then I'm like looking at, it's a good spot to look at the F there. It's right on top of the F. Oh, shit. That looks like it's got pushed down. Does it always look like that? I don't think this is because the color is throwing me off. This doesn't have that brighter. Oh, it says text is barely pushed down. Did that say up earlier before? Okay, what's going on? Text is barely pushed down. I don't think that's true. Hang on. Oh, hope the power doesn't go out. Okay, first edition. This is the same. If text is pushed down, there'd be a bigger space. There's less of a space. So that's interesting. I'm gonna have to put a pin in that one. Just by now, you know that there are differences. Like, and I'm not a mad genius, so I'm not 100% sure. That one's not extremely convincing. Side. This one again looks pretty much the same. It's like some of these cards are sort of so close, and they did it just to piss me off. So again, I think this one has text pushed down. This one indicates text is pushed down. 4 to 3, 4 to 3. But oddly, this text box doesn't look very different. So this might be a bad patch here. Oh, what's this? See, I don't even remember, like, dude, I did so many of these stupid cards, I don't even remember. Okay, so this one, that's interesting, because the white doesn't show up as much in this one. And if I'm not mistaken, that could be the same. Now, this could be a product of Flash, like a brighter light on the left side. I think it might be. I'm going to have to skip. Bazoo. V. Okay, see, goes to the V. Through the V. Through the V. Okay, so I'm saying those are both tactical evolutions. Whoa, that's a pretty bold claim. 4 to the 4. Through the middle, the high part of the B. 4 to the 4. So that would mean that the text is pushed up. Is that what I'm saying? Yeah. So this section of cards sucks. This guy's no, we did him. Kaiku, the Summoner, and Bazoo. Like they always seem to like they all have lots of lines of text. They're 3 cards in a row. And they all have the same treatment. So I think text is pushed up for these 3. Like again, going back to what I was saying, how they gave cards in a row similar treatment. Like I think that's why this is screwing me up so much. But I don't have time to take a look, to be perfectly honest. So Necrofear, let's see if we can get this one right. This is a pretty popular card. So I think I spent a lot of time on this one.